the landmark confirmation of Iraq's currency policy for years, the Iraqi dinar has been at the center of speculation, debate, and uncertainty. Investors, citizens, and international observers alike have spent decades questioning how Iraq's financial authorities would ultimately treat the banknotes that exist in circulation, particularly those printed years or even decades ago. Would they remain valid? Would older designs be excluded? Would a change in exchange policy disadvantage some holders while benefiting others? This uncertainty has fueled both hope and anxiety. Many ordinary Iraqis who preserved their dinars through years of economic turmoil feared that their patience would go unrewarded. Meanwhile, global holders of the currency, spread across continents, faced a lack of clarity that prevented them from making confident financial decisions. Today, that long period of hesitation has finally ended. In a historic announcement, Iraq's financial leadership has officially confirmed a groundbreaking policy. All Iraqi dinar banknotes, regardless of age, design, or year of printing, will be honored equally for exchange, so long as they are authentic and in reasonable condition. This decision is being described not simply as a regulatory adjustment, but as a transformational moment in Iraq's modern financial history. A decisive end to years of doubt, the importance of this announcement cannot be overstated. For decades, the status of older dinar notes has been unclear. Different printings, designs, and series fueled endless speculation about which would ultimately be valid. Some investors feared that older notes might one day be excluded, leaving them with pieces of paper carrying no real financial worth. Others worried that partial recognition, accepting only certain years or types of notes, might fracture confidence and so further distrust in the Iraqi currency system. By declaring universal recognition, Iraq has chosen a path of fairness and inclusivity. No legitimate holder is excluded, and no note is given greater or lesser weight than another. Whether someone has kept their dinars safely stored for years or only recently obtained them, the result is the same: equal treatment and equal opportunity. This uniformity provides what many call psychological stability to the market. It puts an end to speculation, rumor, and fear, replacing them with clarity and confidence. Why this policy matters for Iraq's financial reputation from an international perspective: this decision is not just about recognizing old notes. It is about signaling Iraq's commitment to transparency, fairness, and financial credibility. For years, Iraq has faced challenges in convincing the world of its readiness to re-enter the global economy on stable terms. Wars, sanctions, inflationary periods, and political uncertainty have at times weakened confidence in its financial system. By making this bold move, Iraq's central bank is effectively sending a message to both citizens and investors. We value your trust. We honor our past obligations. We are serious about building a transparent financial system for the future. This acknowledgement matters because currencies are built on trust. When a nation demonstrates that it will stand by every genuine note it has issued, it strengthens that trust not just internally, but also in the eyes of international markets. The 5-day exchange window. A structured initiative at the heart of this new policy lies a crucial detail. The process will take place within a strictly defined 5-day exchange window. This choice is both strategic and symbolic. Rather than leaving the exchange period indefinite, which could cause disorganization or open doors to manipulation, Iraq's authorities have opted for a short, highly controlled timeframe. The benefits of this approach are clear. 1. Order and efficiency. By concentrating activity within a few days, authorities can better manage the anticipated surge in transactions. 2. Reduced risk of fraud. A narrow timeframe limits the opportunity for counterfeiters or manipulators to exploit loopholes. 3. Encouragement of timely action. Holders are pushed to act decisively, ensuring that participation is widespread and immediate. Although 5 days may sound restrictive, the government has emphasized that this is necessary to maintain both clarity and control. It reflects a desire to move forward quickly, avoiding the uncertainty that would accompany an open-ended process. Global accessibility. Breaking down geographical barriers, one of the most remarkable aspects of this initiative is its global scope. Unlike past efforts that might have required individuals to travel to Iraq, this exchange program has been designed with international holders in mind. Iraq's central bank has worked with certified exchange centers and licensed financial institutions across multiple continents to ensure that participation is possible from nearly anywhere in the world. This includes North America, Europe, Asia, the Middle East. By doing this, Iraq has not only expanded accessibility, but also acknowledged the truly international nature of the dinar's presence. Over the years, many people outside of Iraq have acquired the currency, often as a speculative investment. Recognizing their position and making exchange easier for them demonstrates Iraq's understanding of its broader role in the global financial community. This worldwide accessibility carries more than logistical importance. It shows that Iraq is willing to engage openly with international investors and partners, enhancing its credibility and strengthening its image as a nation committed to fairness and transparency. Exchange rates. A reward for patience. While the announcement did not release a single universal number for the new exchange rate, officials confirmed that the rate being offered is significantly higher than in past years. This represents not just a financial benefit for holders, but also a symbolic reward for patience. The improved rate is not the result of random adjustments. Rather, it is being presented as the outcome of years of careful economic reform. Stronger management of inflation, improved public finance structures, diversification of revenue streams, beyond oil growth in foreign currency reserves. Each of these structural improvements has laid the foundation for Iraq to support a stronger, more stable dinar. Offering higher exchange rates now is a way of showing both citizens and global investors that these reforms are yielding tangible results. For many who held onto their dinars through years of doubt, this new rate is validation that their trust was not misplaced. Why documentation and preparation are essential. Despite the broad inclusivity of this initiative, authorities have emphasized the importance of preparation. Holders must ensure the following. 1. Authenticity of notes. Only genuine dinar notes will be accepted. Counterfeits or heavily damaged notes may be rejected. Normal signs of wear are fine, but severely torn or stained bills could create problems. 2. Choice of exchange point. Only certified exchange centers and licensed institutions are authorized to handle the transactions. Attempting to use unofficial or unverified sources carries high risks of fraud. 3. Documentation. Most institutions will require government-issued identification, and larger transactions may require additional paperwork. This is in line with global financial compliance standards and anti-money laundering regulations. 4. Review of terms. Participants are advised to check the offered rate, transaction costs, and terms before finalizing an exchange. Asking for receipts or records of exchange is essential for accountability. These steps are not just bureaucratic formalities. They ensure that the process remains secure, transparent, and fair for all participants. The risk of delay. Why early action is advised. Although the exchange window will last 5 days, financial leaders have advised against waiting until the last minute. Demand is expected to be extremely high, and delays could lead to missed opportunities. Those who act early in the process are more likely to experience smoother, faster transactions, while those who wait until the 5th day risk facing bottlenecks, complications, or even being unable to complete the exchange before the window closes. Authorities have been explicit. This is a one-time event. There is no indication that another chance will be offered later, and holding out in hopes of higher rates in the future could prove risky. The emphasis is therefore on timely engagement within the announced period. Symbolism beyond the exchange, beyond the technical details. This initiative represents something larger. Iraq's commitment to modernization, reform, and reintegration into the global economy. By recognizing all notes equally, opening the process globally, and offering improved rates, Iraq is declaring its readiness to become a credible financial partner on the world stage. This step is also deeply symbolic for Iraqi citizens themselves. After decades of hardship, uncertainty, and economic difficulty, this policy affirms their resilience. It rewards patience and perseverance, while showing that their trust in the currency is being respected. For international observers, it demonstrates that Iraq is no longer defined solely by instability, but is instead taking concrete steps to build long-term stability and credibility. The confirmation of Iraq's new dinar exchange policy is far more than an administrative update. It is a declaration of confidence, inclusivity, and transparency. By ensuring that all legitimate notes are honored, regardless of age or design, Iraq has resolved one of the most persistent questions surrounding its currency. With a 5-day global exchange window, higher exchange rates, and a system built on fairness, the country has marked a turning point in its financial history. This initiative not only benefits holders, but also strengthens Iraq's reputation worldwide. Iraq's financial future and the global implications of the dinar reform. The 5-day exchange initiative may last only a short time, but its impact is designed to reverberate far beyond that brief window. For Iraq, this is not simply about honoring old notes or adjusting exchange rates. It is about laying the groundwork for a new economic era defined by transparency, modernization, and global integration. While the immediate benefits are clear for holders of the currency, the broader consequences touch nearly every aspect of Iraq's financial system, from domestic stability to international credibility. In this section, we examine the deeper meaning of this policy, the reforms behind it, and the trajectory it sets for Iraq's future. 1. From uncertainty to stability. A new foundation. For many years, Iraq's currency story has been marked by uncertainty. Wars, sanctions, political instability, and fluctuating oil prices all contributed to an environment where confidence in the dinar was fragile. The new policy marks a turning point. By recognizing all notes and creating a transparent, globally accessible exchange system, Iraq has replaced ambiguity with clarity. This shift does more than solve a technical issue. It creates a psychological foundation for long-term stability. Currencies are built on trust. When people trust that their money will retain its value and be honored by the state, they are more willing to save, invest, and participate in the formal economy. By resolving doubts about the dinar, Iraq has strengthened this trust both at home and abroad. 2. Economic reforms behind the policy. This decision did not emerge in isolation. It is the product of a decade of economic reforms designed to rebuild Iraq's financial system after years of strain. Several key reforms made this moment possible. Inflation control. Through careful monetary policy, Iraq has reduced inflation volatility, giving the dinar a stronger foundation. Foreign reserve growth. Iraq has steadily built up its foreign currency reserves, enabling it to back a stronger exchange rate and defend the dinar against instability. Diversification of revenue. Though oil remains Iraq's largest export, policymakers have increasingly emphasized diversification into agriculture, energy, and services. Public finance management. Reforms in taxation, budgeting, and government spending have brought greater accountability and reduced waste. Anti-money laundering measures. Stronger compliance with international standards has reassured global institutions that Iraq is serious about transparency. These reforms mean the new dinar policy is not a symbolic gesture alone. It is supported by a real economic framework that makes it sustainable. 3. A step toward reduced oil dependence. For decades, Iraq's economy has been overwhelmingly tied to oil exports, leaving it vulnerable to global price shocks. Leaders have consistently recognized that true stability requires diversification. The currency reform ties into this effort by showing that Iraq is prepared to strengthen its financial systems in a way that supports non-oil economic activity. A more credible currency encourages investment in sectors such as technology, agriculture, and manufacturing. It also makes it easier for Iraq to participate in international trade, attracting partners beyond the oil industry. 4. Strengthening international confidence. International investors have long approached Iraq with both interest and caution. The nation's vast natural resources and strategic location make it attractive, but political instability and financial opacity often discourage deep engagement. By implementing this policy, Iraq is sending a powerful signal. To investors, Iraq is ready to honor obligations, treat stakeholders fairly, and operate transparently. To global markets, Iraq wants to be seen as a credible financial partner. To international institutions, Iraq is aligning itself with international standards for currency treatment and financial reform. Such actions make it more likely that Iraq will eventually succeed in restoring the dinar as a freely traded international currency. While this milestone has not yet been reached, the current initiative is a visible step toward that long-term objective. 5. The symbolism of equality in currency treatment, another dimension of this policy, is symbolic. By treating all dinar notes equally, regardless of when or where they were issued, Iraq has sent a message of fairness. For Iraqis, this means recognition of their resilience through difficult times. For international holders, it means validation of their patience and trust. For both, it means that Iraq is choosing inclusivity over exclusion. Symbolism matters in finance. A nation's credibility is not built only on numbers, but on the consistency and fairness of its actions. This initiative strengthens Iraq's reputation as a country committed to keeping its word. 6. The challenges ahead. While the announcement is historic, it does not mean that Iraq's challenges are over. Several key hurdles remain. Maintaining stability. Ensuring that the dinar remains stable after the exchange period will require ongoing discipline in fiscal and monetary policy. Preventing fraud. Even with strict rules, counterfeit attempts and scams could emerge during and after the exchange process. Vigilance is necessary. Public understanding. Clear communication is critical. Any confusion could undermine confidence. Authorities must continue to educate citizens and global holders alike. Political risks. Iraq's political system remains complex, and instability could still pose risks to long-term reforms. Acknowledging these challenges is essential. Iraq's progress is real, but it must be carefully protected. 7. Long-term goals. Integration into the global economy. Ultimately, the dinar reform is part of a broader journey. Iraq's goals include 1. Reintroducing the dinar into foreign exchange markets, making it a freely traded currency recognized by global financial systems. 2. Attracting international investment, using credibility and stability to draw long-term investment in infrastructure, technology, and non-oil industries. 3. Modernizing banking systems, expanding digital banking services, improving financial literacy, and making everyday transactions easier for citizens. 4. Expanding international trade partnerships, leveraging currency credibility to create new trade agreements and strengthen regional ties. Each of these steps builds on the foundation laid by the current initiative. 8. Why the 5-day window is historic. The 5-day exchange period is more than a practical tool. It may prove to be one of the most significant moments in Iraq's modern financial history. For many holders, it is the culmination of years of waiting. For Iraq as a nation, it is the turning of a page, a short window of action that opens the door to a new financial chapter. The urgency of this limited period reflects Iraq's determination to move decisively, showing the world that it is not delaying reform but embracing it. 9 lessons for the future. The Dinar Initiative also offers lessons that extend beyond Iraq. Clarity builds confidence. By removing uncertainty about which notes are valid, Iraq created stability. Inclusivity strengthens trust. Treating all holders equally avoided division and increased credibility. Structure prevents chaos. The 5-day limit ensures order and avoids prolonged confusion. Symbolism matters. Currency policies are not only financial, but also statements of national values. These lessons highlight how financial reforms can blend technical precision with broader symbolic meaning. 10. A new chapter for Iraq's economy. As the exchange unfolds, its meaning becomes clear. Iraq is not merely adjusting its banking regulations, it is writing a new chapter in its economic story. For citizens, it represents validation and hope. For investors, it demonstrates seriousness and transparency. For the global community, it signals that Iraq is ready to step back onto the financial stage with renewed credibility. This initiative may not solve all of Iraq's challenges, but it provides a foundation on which the country can build. It bridges the gap between the uncertainty of the past and the promise of the future. Conclusion: the 5-day dinar exchange is both an ending and a beginning. It ends speculation, fear, and uncertainty about the treatment of Iraq's currency. At the same time, it begins a new era in which Iraq positions itself as a transparent, credible, and globally engaged economy. The implications extend far beyond the mechanics of exchanging banknotes. They touch on Iraq's broader journey toward financial modernization, diversification, and global integration. For holders of the dinar, the initiative is a reward for patience. For Iraq, it is a declaration of progress. Over the coming years, the success of this policy will be measured not only by the transactions completed, but also by the trust, credibility, and opportunities it creates. If Iraq continues on this path, the dinar may one day stand as a symbol not of uncertainty, but of resilience, reform, and renewal. Disclaimer: all content provided by IQD Global Intel is for educational and informational purposes only. We are not financial advisors and do not provide investment, trading, or banking advice. Viewers should always conduct their own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor before making any financial decisions.